The story begins with a very beautiful city where everyone was happy, where everyone's wishes were fulfilled, as if it were a magical city. But all this was not for a long time. In the aftermath of a very big war, all that happened in this city was over. Such clouds took over the city due to which the sun stopped shining and the clouds never rained. In the aftermath of a very big war, all that happened in this city was over. A soldier had saved Peter, and he was raising him like a father. At this time, he gives Peter money to buy breakfast from the market. But when Peter goes to the market, he sees a red tag instead of food. He could not stop himself from going inside, and in return for the money he eats, he starts questioning that woman. This woman already knew a lot about Peter. Seeing all this, Peter was quite surprised. The girl says to Peter that your sister is still alive. Peter was shocked to hear this because according to the soldier, all his family died in the war. The girl says to Peter that you have given only one coin, and in return you can ask only one question to make your problem easier. You think about your question. After thinking a lot, Peter also asks that girl that, how can I meet my sister now? The girl replies that an elephant can make you meet your sister. Hearing such a stupid thing, Peter's whole mood was ruined. He leaves from here and comes home. So, even after coming home, he was punished to march instead of bringing food. He tells the soldier everything, that how a woman told him that his sister is alive and he can meet her through an elephant. But the soldier says that all this is a lie. Along with that, the soldier was telling him a story, which was of a soldier like him. He used to read a book every day, and he used to read it and cry. In this way, his attention was completely removed from the fight. One day I stole his book and then he became a very strong soldier. The soldier's purpose of telling this story to Peter was that if Peter wants to become a good soldier, then he should not go towards his weaknesses. The soldier says that your sister and your mother were in front of my eyes. Now there is no point in looking for such things that do not exist in this world. Now when Peter is fulfilling his punishment at night, the people living below his flat are very disturbed by the sound of his march. They call Peter and tell him not to do all this work at night. Peter liked his neighbors very much. That's why he tells his neighbor the whole story of how a woman has said that my sister is alive. The man listens to all his words carefully and also says that it is possible that the woman is telling the truth, and it is also possible that you may get your sister. After that, the scene is cut, and we are shown to a magician. His magic was so nonsense that no one liked it. He himself was in a lot of tension about this, and now he calls a woman to show his last magic. This time he had read a very powerful magical spell. With this spell, his bad city began to look beautiful again as before. But maybe his magic had not worked completely yet. His magic had gone upside down, because of which a very big elephant comes there and falls on that woman. Seeing the elephant, all the people get scared and run away from there. When Peter had a dream at night in which he was playing with his sister, this dream makes him very anxious, and he wakes up again and decides to meet the same woman, the woman who told him that his sister is still alive. But when he came here, not only that woman, his tent was also missing. He asks people here that where did the girl who was lying here yesterday go? But no one knew anything about it. While talking, he finds out that an elephant has come here in a magic show. Hearing this, he remembered the girl's words where she says that you can get your sister through an elephant. At first, he thought this was nonsense because there was no elephant in his city, but now he began to trust the girl's words. He happily goes to his neighbor and tells him that an elephant has come to the city. Maybe the same elephant will introduce me to his sister. That man was also happy to hear this and said to him that yes, why not? This can happen, and you do not worry. I am always with you, and I will try my best to introduce that elephant to you. Then he goes to the soldier to tell all this, but the soldier still did not believe him. On the other hand, the man who wanted to help Peter now goes to the palace and asks about the elephant. Then he finds out that the elephant is kept like a prisoner. But very soon he will be killed because he thinks that this elephant could be a threat to the people here. This was really a problem. Now that man writes a letter to the king of this country to help Peter that a very big elephant has fallen in our city. If they want to see, they should definitely come to our city. Now because the king also liked such drama-type things, that man's plan was succeeding. The king had decided to come to see him himself by ordering to keep the elephant alive. When kings come to the city, everyone welcomes them very well. And the elephant is also very well colored in front of them. But the elephant was getting allergic to this color. And that's why he was getting angry. Everyone was going to run away from there in fear that Peter, who was standing there, understands everything. And he starts removing all the chemical powder from his eyes by wetting a cloth. Seeing this, the elephant also comes to peace. Everyone also understands that the elephant is not going to kill them. In fact, the elephant now collects water from his trunk and gives it to himself. And then he sits there comfortably. The head of this place was quite impressed with Peter that he gave peace to such a big elephant without fear. He says that if you want, we have a job for you. You can stay here and take care of this elephant. But Peter says to him that I can't take care of the elephant. I want this elephant with me. This elephant can introduce me to my sister. Before the head refused him, the king interrupts him and says to Peter, "Okay, if you complete the 3 impossible tasks, then I will give you this elephant as a reward." In which the first task was that Peter had to fight with a very dangerous soldier. The king also gives him his sword for this task. But now he was not even able to pick up this sword. When Peter's neighbor comes home, he also gives him a little training. Now for the first time in the movie, we are being shown to Peter's sister. This means that he is really alive. He also sees an elephant in his dream. He goes and tells all this to his sister. But his sister tells him to forget all this and go to sleep. When his family was coming in the dream of the elephant, he sees how he left his family and came here. And he gets up fearing all this. This time Peter was in front of him. Peter shows him the map of his city and says, "Tell me, where is my sister?" But the elephant did not understand his language. That's why, even though he did not want to, now Peter wants to leave from there. He knew that he had to fight a soldier in any case in the morning. When the time for the competition comes, now he had only 2 legs. In front of him was a man of triple size who was going to fight him. As soon as Peter hears the name of that soldier, the story comes to his mind that his soldier had told him how he removed the weakness of a soldier from him and made that soldier very brave. He was the same soldier who was going to fight Peter. Peter had an idea in his mind that instead of fighting him, his weakness should be brought in front of him and defeated. That is, the same book should be brought in front of him and defeated, which was the weakness of that soldier. Thinking this, Peter runs away from there, and that soldier was also behind him to fight him. Peter somehow saved himself and reached his house with great difficulty. He brings the book and puts it in front of the soldier. Looking at the book, the soldier remembered his mother. In the same way, he lost his emotions, and Peter had won his first task. The king was also very surprised by all this. Now he gets the next task that he has to fly and show him. This was really impossible. How could he do all this? When Peter goes to give water to the elephant, he says to the elephant, "I don't know if I will be able to fly tomorrow or not. But yes, it is confirmed that I will get you out of here, and I will also send you to your family." His words give hope to the elephant. He also gives hope to Peter by loving his suit that he will definitely win. And in this way, this hope was awakened in one of the people of this city after a long time. And the magic of this hope works. Every person starts feeling that maybe everything will be like before. When this hope was awakened in everyone that nothing is impossible and their city will be like before, now there were some changes in their ruined city. Peter's sister is shown, who found out that an elephant has come to the city. She goes and tells her sister that the same elephant has come to the city that comes in my dream every time. She says to her sister that please take me to the city. Her sister also agrees when Peter was in the process of flying here. The soldier stops him from doing this. "If you do this, you will die." But he was not going to listen to anyone else. When Peter leaves the soldier's house, the soldier was also very sad. He was remembering the time when he met Peter for the first time, During the war, Peter and his sister were alive. There was also a sister who gave Peter to the soldier. In fact, he kept his sister with him. Now Peter was the soldier's responsibility, but at the same time, the soldier also had to take part in the war. So as soon as he moves forward from there was a big explosion behind him. The soldier thinks that maybe his sister and Peter's sister died here. Anyway, the scene is cut, and we are shown Peter, the biggest building in the city. And as soon as he jumps from there, a parachute came out of his bag, because of which he started flying in the air. He made this parachute himself. Everyone was very surprised to see his invention, and in this way, he had won his second task. His sister, who came to the city, was also very happy to see him. But she did not know that Peter is her brother. The king gives Peter the third task, that he has to make the head of the city laugh. Because just a while ago, the king learned that the head of the city has not laughed for many years. Since the death of his brother in the war, he has not laughed. This task is also very difficult for Peter. How will he make the head of the city laugh? When he moved forward, he was with the elephant. Then his sister comes to the elephant and asks, "Why do you come in my dream again and again?" Before Peter understands anything, or the elephant gives him a sign, his sister comes and takes him away from here. The next day comes, and Peter had to complete his third task. He tells a strange joke to everyone. No one laughed at this joke there. How does the head of the city laugh? She laughs so that Peter wins. But the king was understanding his cunningness, and in this way he calls Peter defeated. Peter is very sad. Also, the king also announces that this elephant should be tied up and taken away from here. Peter says, No, wait, please wait. He requests the king to please leave the elephant. First, I wanted to get the elephant just to take me to my sister. But you also think that this elephant also has a family. I have to take him to his family. Please hand him over to me. But when the king does not listen to him, the elephant was angry. He pours strange water from his mouth and drops it on the king. Seeing this, the head of the city also laughs along with all the people. Now Peter, who had lost a minute ago, his heart had changed to victory. If the king had agreed to this, Peter made the head of the city laugh. Peter happily puts the elephant on his head. All the people were very happy. And now the scene is cut, and we are shown the scene of the jail, where the magician has been imprisoned, because of which the elephant had come to the city. Peter goes to him and says, "Please do some magic, so that the elephant goes back to his house." But the magician says, "My magic does not work. I do not believe in my magic at all." Then a woman sitting next to him says, No, your magic works very well. You did magic so that our city would be like before. So see, your magic is working. So many people have hope in their hearts that anything can happen here by coming to that elephant. And because of this hope, this city is becoming like before. Now the magician was encouraged by his words. He had now come in front of everyone with a lot of confidence. He reads some of his magical spells again, because of which the elephant really disappears from there. Seeing all this, people are very happy. Their hope is even more confirmed that anything can happen here. And the magic of their thought and hope was that the clouds that were over their city were now disappearing. Many years later, for the first time, there was sunlight in their city. Everything was fine, but Peter did not know who his sister was and where she was. At this time, his sister comes in front of him and says, "Why did you send that elephant back?" "That elephant was going to take me to my destiny." Seeing him, the sister now takes him away from there. Finally, the elephant comes here who had raised Peter. Seeing his sister, the soldier remembers everything. And he also remembers that on the day of the war, when he felt that his sister and Peter's sister died in that explosion, it would not have happened. That is, the soldier recognized Peter's sister. Finally, Peter had found his sister. They were very happy to meet each other. The whole city was now like before, where everything was very beautiful and everything was possible. The whole family lived happily together, when the elephant is also shown here, who has finally met his family. But he can never forget Peter. He remembers Peter's face again and again, with whom these stories end. How did you like this film? Please tell in the comment box. And subscribe to the channel to watch more such movies.